Beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, along coastlines where forests meet cold, shifting water, there is a hunter that does not behave like a predator should. It does not kill everything it encounters. It does not consume every advantage available to it. It does not maximize destruction. It chooses the killer whale. Orcas are apex predators. Nothing hunts them. Nothing challenges them. They possess immense strength, complex social structures, and large brains capable of learning, teaching, and remembering across generations. Yet what makes orcas extraordinary is not simply power, it is culture. Different orca populations around the world eat completely different diets. Some specialize exclusively in fish. Some hunt seals and sea lions. Some target sharks, flipping them upside down to induce paralysis. Some chase schools of herring and use coordinated waves to knock fish into tight clusters. These differences are not genetic. They are learned. An orca calf is not born knowing how to hunt. It is taught. Mothers demonstrate techniques. Elders refine them. Young whales practice and fail and try again, watched and corrected by the group. Entire hunting strategies exist that are never seen outside specific populations, which means something unsettling. Two orcas from different regions may look identical, but they do not live in the same world. One may starve in waters overflowing with prey because it was never taught how to hunt that species, not because it cannot, but because its culture never showed it how. For most of history, humans believed culture belonged to us alone. Language, tradition, technology. But orcas pass down knowledge that shapes survival. They have vocal dialects unique to their pods, distinct patterns of clicks and calls that function like family accents. A whale can identify which pod another belongs to purely by sound. They greet each other differently. They hunt differently. They even play differently. And these traditions persist for decades, sometimes centuries. There are orca grandmothers that no longer reproduce yet remain central to pod survival. When food becomes scarce, pods led by elder females are more likely to find prey, not because the elders are stronger, but because they remember. They remember where food was found during past collapses. They remember patterns that happened before the younger whales were born. They carry ecological memory, a living library, which leads to an extraordinary biological anomaly. Female orcas undergo menopause. They can live 40 to 50 years after they stop reproducing. From a strictly evolutionary perspective, this makes no sense, unless knowledge itself has survival value. An orca grandmother that cannot produce offspring can still increase the survival of her descendants by guiding them. Evolution did not just favor strong bodies. It favored minds that accumulate experience. It favored elders. Orcas also display behaviors that blur the line between instinct and emotion. They have been observed carrying dead calves for days, pushing the bodies, lifting them to the surface to breathe, refusing to let go. They have been recorded assisting injured pod members, supporting them so they do not sink. They engage in play that has no obvious survival function, tossing seaweed, riding waves, chasing birds simply to watch them scatter. Play is not wasted energy. It is evidence of cognitive surplus, a brain with room for more than survival. But perhaps the most unsettling truth about orcas is this. Despite being apex predators with the physical ability to kill humans easily, there are no verified cases of wild orcas intentionally killing a human. Not one. Captive orcas have caused deaths, but in the open ocean where orcas have complete control, they do not. They approach boats, they surface beside swimmers, they investigate divers, then they leave. A predator that understands it could kill you, and chooses not to, which suggests a level of restraint rarely acknowledged in non-human animals. Orcas are not just hunters. They are decision-makers. They evaluate, they learn, they remember, they inherit knowledge, they teach, they grieve, they play. They recognize family, they recognize dialect, they recognize tradition. They do not simply live in the ocean. They inhabit societies, complex, multi-generational, culturally distinct societies, long before humans built cities. Long before we wrote language, long before we told stories, there were black and white shapes moving through cold water, passing down knowledge, raising young, honoring elders, shaping behavior not through DNA alone, but through memory, which leads to a quiet, unsettling realization. Humans are not the first species to create culture. We are not alone in possessing traditions. We are not alone in teaching our young how to be who they are. We are simply one more branch on a very old tree, a tree whose roots stretch deep into the ocean, where intelligence did not ask to become human. It simply learned how to become itself.